All right, breakfast is done. Coffee's made twice. Dishes are put up. All the gear's put up except for this Firebox stuff. Dishes are kind of clean for camp clean. Take them home, finish them up. And all I have left to do is to show you what's inside this box. Let's do that now. All right, so I'm old and I'm going to forget names. I always do. So when I can't remember the name of something, I'll put it on the screen if I can remember to do that. So this Firebox. See, I already started. I already forgot the name of this, so whatever this is called, I'll put it on the screen. But this has a removable lid, which is kind of cool. It's Velcro on all sides, which you can open it like this, you can open it like that, and like that. I prefer to open it like that. You can also remove, this guy has two removable dividers in here, and you can take one of the dividers and attach it to Velcro here, because it's Velcro too, and you can prop that open and keep that as a shelf. I haven't done that. I just keep my dividers in there. If I'm camping, I always bring a table. If I'm backpacking, I'm not carrying this, obviously. So this is not for hiking or anything like that, obviously. This is for like car camping, truck camping, family tent, RV, overland, whatever you want to do, but not throwing this on my back. All right, so this has two pretty decent sized pockets, zipper pockets in the front with little molly on the front if you want to attach more stuff to it, and it has the identical situation on the back, so it has 4 total. And then there's another one, long pocket here on this side, and another one on the opposite side. And then it has the adjustable carry strap, shoulder strap. It's pretty beefy, actually. And then it has the 2 carry straps on each side, and you can tell it's pretty strong too. It's filled with some type of cordage or something in there, and the reason for that, I think, is because it's designed to also be a paper towel holder, which works great. So there's that other pocket on the bottom, and then the paper towel holder, which I've used quite a bit today. I'll just start going over some of this stuff since I'm already here. Inside this pocket, I keep some spare Ziploc bags or unbranded Ziploc bags, some spare trash bags. The back side here, back pocket. This is my fire, or actually I call it my fuel pocket. So it's fuel puck. This doesn't have any in it, but this is for alcohol, and you'll see why, because I have another alcohol container in there. Ferro rod. Talked about these before, the zip starters. I tried this Firebox fire puck today for the first time. Works just as well as these zips. Then I have some butane fuel, that's just for a lighter that I have in there. Then some extra canister of gas, a large one. Inside this one is empty. There's nothing in here. This one here, all I have right now is a thermometer. Inside here, this is from Firebox as well. And as well, open it up here. This is what I should have been using, so I wasn't scratching my seasoning off of my pan, but I was being very careful. So this is just a spatula, a spoon, and a ladle, and it just screws on there like that. And you can use any one of the 3 with this handle. This is also plugged up. It's got a plug in there so that you can keep spice or something in here if you want. I have it. Inside here is just cheap internet Amazon silverware set. So I keep 2 forks, 2 spoons, and 2 knives. I have the knives in here because I don't need the knives because I have my own knife, but just cheap silverware, and it's over there. Getting ready to get washed when I get home. Just a spare flashlight, little Stylus Pro from Streamlight. You never know when you're going to get caught out in the dark here. Multi-tool. Why would I keep a multi-tool in this? Well, because grabbing something hot, sometimes you need something a little bit more substantial than some tongs. And these seem to work well. Man, this coffee is so good. Everything tastes better out camping and out in the woods. And they have French press coffee. First I had the percolator, and then I did the French press, and the French press is better. But anyway, they have the French press out here camping. That's really nice. This is the lighter I was talking about where I kept the fuel. So, of course, it's not gonna, I think I used it all. Oh, I didn't. That was nice. Ooh. Anyway, can't see it, but that's the lighter that I was talking about where I had for the spare fuel. Then I had this extended reach big lighter. And then this fancy contraption here. Can't see it, but if you push that, probably. Anyway, this lights up. It'll set something on fire. Put it out real quick. Yeah. Yeah. And I just keep these in a little pocket protector type of thing. I just have stuck in there from Nite from years ago. And if they still make this. I also have a Next Step Survival, and it's just a pocket bellows type of thing. And then up here in the front, I keep this Firebox pot grabber. These are amazing compared to what I've had in the past. So since I bought this, I've bought 2 others, a long handled like this and a short handled. So now I have 3 of these because I don't plan on ever buying anything other than this as far as pot grabbers. This is also Firefox, I think this might be, yeah, this is Toaks. I bought it from fireboxstove.com. It's titanium fork and spoon, and then it comes out to be a spatula, so you can use it like that. I haven't tried it except for one time with bacon. It did okay, but I just prefer my tongs. I just keep a pair of leather gloves handling hot stuff. Sometimes it comes in handy. Inside this little pouch here is my spices. I don't recall the name of this spice. This is what Steve from fireboxstove.com is always showing. So I bought some of it, put it on the screen. I don't remember what it is. It tastes pretty good. It's got a lot of different spices. It's a little salty, and it's not hot at all. I kind of expected it's a Japanese spice. But I don't recall what it is. I also bought this salt and pepper grinder, so that works well. Got a little Ranger band on there. And then this right here is my favorite spice, and this is Slap Your Mama. And I just put it in this little, this is actually a Nalgene container, the brand. So is this. So you can buy these little Nalgene containers, and I haven't had any of them leak on me, so you can get them off of Amazon. And as you need more spices, I'll probably just keep adding them to this pouch. This is one of my coffee kits, so I don't need to really open all this up, but just keep some coffee. And here's the instant coffee that I've been enjoying lately. Mount Hagen. I drink decaf. I guess I am going to open this to show it to you. So this is my French press for this kit. What I used this morning was in my backpack because I brought my backpack with me. But this one here has a little bit longer handle because I didn't need to cut it short. There's the French press. I can see that I'm missing the in part inside, but I'm pretty sure I know where that's at. Anyway, so this is the French press. Put all this back real quick. Inside here I have this piece of carbon felt that I bought from Firebox. And it's nice, like if I wanted to set my stove on this table, I would have set this down, put the Firebox stove here to protect this table, the surface. So I think this is pretty clever. I'm not going to say it's fireproof. I think he said it was fire resistant, but I have set it down and it hasn't even marked that. So, you know, as far, and the bottom of the stove isn't really that hot, but you don't want to damage somebody's picnic table. That's just wrong. And then inside here, I just keep a grate. I have a smaller one too that I can set on between a couple of logs or on top of a couple of logs on an open fire. I've cooked steaks and hamburgers on these, and they work just great. Next is the Firebox stove. This is the 5-inch G2 or Generation 2 Firebox titanium. So I got the titanium version. It's very expensive. Not gonna lie about that. I can't believe I paid that much money for a stove, but I kind of subscribe to that buy once, cry once type of thing. I've got tons of stoves. I'm going to do a video later on about some of the stoves that I have of various sizes, backpacking all the way up into car camping, that type of thing. And I decided I'm just going to get the best right now because I always gravitate toward it later. And then I'm sitting there with 2 or 3 of the same thing trying to get up. So, and I also bought the kit that comes with the extra plates and everything. So I'll show you that. This is real simple, this setup, so this won't take long. So I bought extra fire sticks. So I have 6 of those total now. But when you open that up, so you might have, if you've seen this, you've seen people do that. The ash pan that goes on the bottom just pops off. And now it's that easy. Just, and it's set up. Then the ash pan just slides underneath, sits on that little ledge. I don't know how much of that you can see. And there's a million different ways and options to set this up. So maybe I'll do another or like a full review on the stove or something later on. But I'll show you that in a second. I've got a piece of leather that I use sometimes as a pot holder. It's not part of the kit, but I just throw it in there. And then this will drop down. So if you put a couple of sticks, fire sticks down low on there, wherever you want them, and then you can drop this plate down and use charcoal or the compressed wood pellets and sit down in there, and it works well. I've used both of them before. They work well. You can also use a fire stick to pick these up when they're hot, so it's pretty clever. I'm just amazed at the thought that went into designing this. This is the one that comes with just, if you buy just a Firebox without, you know, the entire kit that I bought with all the added stuff, but it goes on top. And then this one here, this came with the added, I don't remember what it's called, I'll put it on the screen, the kit where you can get more stuff with it, but this works well. I think it's called the boiler plate. And when you get the hot coals and the fire and all that, you just drop that into whatever level you have your fire sticks at, and it works well with the. I believe that's a 40-ounce Nalgene, and it works well with the cups somewhere. So here's a Stanley. I need to bring those in for the Stanley, but you get the idea. And then the little GSI cups and everything. They work well, but you need to raise it up higher because of the little handle, the winged handles. All right, and then the last part that I'll show you here is this is what I cooked steak on last night, and I've made a lot of them. They tend to get a little warped. I don't worry about that. I mean, later on, I just stretch it back into shape. But it works well. It's got a big enough surface. And I just cooked a 20 or 21 ounce porterhouse on this thing last night. And it did drop down here a little bit. And I didn't mess with it because I thought, who cares? And that's because these opened up. So that's another thing that every now and then I'll have to do. These are barely touching right now. So what I'll do is I'll just come in here and before I use it, and I'll just bring them in. Make sure it's a tight fit before anything's hot. You know, you need to do this before it gets hot. I might have tightened it a little bit too tight there. But now I've got a nice snug fit. And the same with this. You can take a couple of these. I noticed that Steve, I think he uses these parts like this. I didn't get it in there all the way. But I seen somebody else doing it like this, and I thought I like this better. So they'll work out. Of course, if you have your steak on there, I just use the tongs and just pick the plate and the steak up at the same time with the tongs. So, and then also I keep inside of this is this little Zencamp. So I'm going to do a review on this because this one here is brand new. And I have one that I've been using. I think this is the new one. Yeah, this is the new one. And it's a cheap little titanium stove that I'll use for coffee. So this is by far my favorite stove. Again, this isn't sponsored. I paid for all this with my own money. Nothing was given to me. And I have a video on nextstepsurvival.com. I don't know, 6-7 years ago, talking about my favorite camp stove or hiking stove. I don't recall the verbiage, but that was the solo stove, and this has replaced that. So I need to update that because this is by far my favorite stove now. And that's the only Firebox stove that I own. I don't own the Nano. I'd like to get a couple of the other ones, the box stove and the Nano, but hey, baby steps, right? This is also Firebox. I put some tent stakes in here, some cheap tent stakes, and I put a titanium spoon, which doesn't belong in here, so that's coming out. But this is a taller windscreen, and it works really well, and it goes all the way around that stove, that Firebox stove, and it's tall enough to where it's effective. Now, anybody that's actually used a windscreen knows that you use a windscreen when it's windy. And that's what these are for. So if I'm on the ground, I use these to hold it down. I've used rocks, I've used logs, everything, because you put one of these in it. Now you just made a big sail, and the wind wants to take this away. So you don't realize that until you actually try to use it, and it's like, okay, you fixed one problem and created a bigger problem. So now you got to figure out how to keep your windscreen anchored. And this goes in here. So I don't know why it was in there. This is the utensils pocket I showed you. I think I showed you that. Did I? Yeah. I think I did. So yeah, I did. And then yeah. I don't think I showed you this one. So this is avocado oil spray. This is avocado oil. I don't know if you can recognize what that is, but that used to be one of those lemon juice containers. So once we were done with it and I started to throw it away, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to wash this out and fill it with oil. So it's got avocado oil. The reason I prefer that, I have olive oil in another kit, and I prefer this because it's got a 500 degree smoke point is to where, like, I believe it can get more than twice as hot as olive oil. So just a high smoke point, and we're dealing with high temps. So a headlamp, I usually keep a headlamp or two in there. I already pulled this out, the Stanley pot cook kit. So this is a GSI, I think. Yeah, GSI. This is the large. This is the one I was talking about. Works inside that boilerplate for the Firebox stove. Works real well. The Stanley cup. That's inside there, or stove, whatever you want to call it. Pot. It's not a stove. Pot or cup. The lid. I don't know if the lid came with it. I think it did. These are just a couple of fuel tablets that I got in there just in case, emergency type of thing. Inside here, I have a Trangia alcohol stove, and it's full of alcohol. This is I forgot what this is called. I'll put this on the screen too. I just bought these last week. I've only tried it. I don't think you don't really need it with the Trangia, but I've got some cheaper brands, and it helps speed up the bloom time for them. So, and then inside I just had the gas canister. That's all I got in here. I just let everything nest on that little compact thing. All of this is heavy. I mentioned this before, so this isn't something you want to carry around with you. So I don't want to give anybody the impression that I'm doing that. And I mentioned on that why that other alcohol container was empty, and that's because I have the Trangia canister here full of it, and then I have another type of fuel tablet. This is a off-brand that I found are way cheaper. Those smell really bad though. Or they all do. Fuel tablets do. This container here is from Firebox Stove, but the contents is not. So I thought it was pretty clever. Anybody that's used the water bottle holders for the Molly and stuff that you get from the various brands and everything knows how hard it is to stick things in and out of that. And this just works so much easier. Look how easy that pulls out of there. So the GSI cup, it's kind of redundant, I know. And then I have a titanium lid. I think this went with it, or I think this was Tokes, went with one of my Tokes cups. Just happens to fit. And then the clean canteen, another one. I really don't need this kit inside here, but I have no reason to not have it because, like I said, I'm not carrying it. I have two billy pots from Firebox Stove. The brand is not Firebox. I'll show you this. I'll show you this in a minute. This is the larger of the two, and I haven't even used this one yet. So I have the 14 centimeter that I have used several occasions. And then I just got this a couple days ago. It came in the mail. Each set I have this also. You can buy these from Firebox Stove as well, and it comes with this possibilities pack and this pot container anyway. So I like that. This is the 16 centimeter, or I think the 3-quart, and the 14 centimeter is the 2-quart. So I can't wait to get into this and start using this one. And then this I bought as well. So I have this is a kit, and again, I don't even recall the name, so I'll put it on the screen. It's got the bread, and it's got the little pans for making bread and cookies and baking and that type of stuff. It's got the little rack that you put on the top because you're heating this up on its side for putting your coals on it. And then it's got this little grid shelf in there that you can just slide into that and lay whatever in there. And these just lock in there like that. It's real nice. These are the clips that Firebox replaces. Oh, the brand is, what is the brand of this? I don't recall. Oh, Zebra. So these are Zebra pots, and the Zebra pot comes with plastic clips. And the clips are nice because it locks this lid in place. So when you're using it as an oven, this is your oven door, and then you open this up, and then you can pull this off, the lid, or your oven door. See? And that's why I bought those. This is what started my Firebox stove endeavor when I decided I wanted these metal clips. That was all it was about. They have those on Amazon, and I thought, I'm going to look and see if they're cheaper on the website, and they were. And then I think that's it in this pocket. And then inside of this, which if you don't have it stuffed so full, the way I do, it will nest right underneath that handle. But I just have too much stuff in there, so if I take some of the stuff out, that will just, once you close that up, it'll go right inside that handle. Oh, I know what it is. It's my, all right, never mind. If I didn't have this pan in here, it just nests right under there. The pan, this little pan here actually goes in there. So I'll show you that in a second. I didn't need it to work like that, so I didn't worry about it. So inside of here, I should label these so I actually know. All right, so this is the adapter to convert. I don't remember if this, I think this is the, looks like this might be, I don't know, it's either the propane or the butane. I have adapters for converting gas into propane and another one for butane. And this is part of the kit that I bought when I bought the Billy pot. And this is my oven thermometer. And then they drilled a hole in the lid. It's a service they provide. By they, I mean Firebox stove. And you take that end off, screw that end off, and then you put it in there, screw it back in, and now you have an oven thermometer. And they also drilled holes in this top plate for me. This is a service they provide. They didn't do it for me. That's just something they provide. And this is part of the Zebra pot. Just can't quit taking that out. And it just goes inside there. But now I have a steamer. So the idea is, if you're cooking some stew, chili, soup, or something down in here, and maybe you have some veggies that you want to heat up, you can do it at the same time. So while that's cooking, it's steaming your vegetables or whatever, you know, it's cooking up here too. You can do rice, whatever. I mean, it's actually pretty clever, the whole concept. And you can store it like this as well, but I decided I wanted to keep my bake kit in here instead of that, because my bake kit fits in there real nice. And then underneath that, I just keep some aluminum foil because that always comes in handy. And a bandana, which always comes in handy. Maybe you need to use it as a napkin or straining some water. Pre-straining some water for filtering or what have you. And then inside here, this is if I want to use that Trangia for as its own stove. This fit the gas canister, so give it a little bit more support, make it more stable. This is just a gas stove, So if I want to use the gas stove as an independent stove, I have that. It's got its own little piezo starter, and it's cheap, Model Me, very inexpensive gas stove. Inside of here, more fuel tablets, fire starter. Wow, I'm so glad that wasn't another pocket balls. It's this came with that, but I actually have a couple of those, few of those at home. Some baddest beef fire fuses. I've never actually tried any of these. It just comes with that. And then a backup big lighter with some Gorilla Tape on it, and then these cheap little waterproof things that keep you from draining all your stuff out of there. So it's not Exotech, but it's way cheaper. And then I think I'm going to put all of this in that other fuel pouch, because that really makes more sense for all this. And this is just some cotton balls with Vaseline inside of a little pill pouch. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to put all this in that other, in my fuel pocket over here. Got to free up some space inside my possibilities kit, I guess it's called. This right here goes with the Firebox stove, or it doesn't go with it. It's an extra, you have to pay for it. But it's a Firebox gas and gas stove, and it drops down into the Firebox. This weaves through it, and you can hook your gas canister, propane or butane, whatever, depending on the adapter you use. And now you got more options with your Firebox stove. So as of now, I can use propane, butane, the mix, the butane, whatever that mix is. I can use gas, or that's all gas. I can use alcohol and liquid fuels, solid tablets. Oops, I forgot this. This is the little diverter that goes on there that spreads that flame out a little wider. Plus it might, reduce the direct heat on one spot, so you're not trying to burn the center of your pan. Another clever thing from Firebox stoves. I feel like I've said that name enough to where I should be getting like a raise, and I don't even work there. Did I show this? I think this is my spices. Yeah, this is my spices. All right, so that's it for these. Now inside the center, these are just an extra set of fire sticks. Oh, that poked right through there. Look at that. I don't think it's supposed to do that, Steve. Actually, I don't really care for this. I got this from Firebox stoves too, but I'll probably actually get rid of this. It's just kind of, I don't know, gimmicky. But I do want a way to not lose this stuff. So this is an extra set, a third set of fire sticks, and these hold that gas contraption, that gas stove that I just showed you. They go through and the stove snaps right into place with these. I'll figure out something different rather than keep carrying these around. This blue thing. Maybe just a piece of an inner tube or something. I don't know. There's a couple of knives I have in here. A Mora knife. Keep this clean. This is stainless steel, and I just use this for cooking. And then it's like a little meat cleaver, and it's good for dicing up veggies and stuff. You keep that clean and oiled. I try to take care of my knives. And then this should be the last section, last part. And I just used all this morning. So all of this is dirty. It's going to be cleaned and reseasoned and everything. I clean it the best as I can when I'm in a location like this. If I'm you know, I have no running water or anything like that where I'm at, is what I'm saying. So this is this, I've already oiled it and everything, but this is the shallow Cowboy plate. And this is the little grid cover or whatever, just for, or coal. This is to put coals on. I don't know. And I haven't used this yet, but this is pretty cool. It's a pizza or baking stone from Firebox. All this is Firebox. A lot of this is pretty new, and I haven't even got to use it yet, including this cutting board. This is pretty cool. I mean, before I always just like used a piece of wood. So, and then this is the deep Cowboy plate, and this is all the 10-inch. It comes in 8-inch too. All of this, you can get smaller pizza stone and smaller cutting board, I think. And I like the 10-inch. And this is all anodized aluminum. And then I got this. I don't know if I paid separate for that. I don't think I did. But anyway, that's it. I think this is everything. I should call this my Firebox kit, I guess, because everything's pretty much Firebox, isn't it? And I didn't realize that until I started doing this video, which stands to reason because it is a Firebox case. Anyway, so this makes like this setup right here, it like protects everything real nice in there. It's just like perfect. It's like a hard case protection thing or something. So I think that's it. I think we are done. All right, I hope you got something out of that. I hope it wasn't too boring. Apologize for the quiet voice and everything, but like I said, I have neighbors all around me and they're all packing up and getting ready to go. It's what I'm getting ready to do as soon as I'm finished up with my coffee and clean this stuff up. I might do one quick video while I got the table here, and that'd be about camp stove options. So if I do that, I'll put a link in the description. If I don't do that, it won't be there. Brian Hawkins, Next Step Survival. See ya. Bye now.